Are you ready to unlock growth, build resilience, and confidently take the next step in leadership, career, and faith? Welcome to The Next Move. I'm Orvin Kimbrough, a CEO, author, and leader with a passion for helping people and organizations thrive. My journey from foster care to CEO has fueled my mission to help professionals scale their confidence, leadership, and influence through mindset shifts, expanded networks, and bold action. Each week, I'll share reflections ripped straight from my blog to inspire and empower you with actionable insights. Let's get started and make your next move your best move. Welcome back to The Next Move, the podcast where we explore faith, leadership, and personal growth to help you take your next step with purpose and confidence. Folks, I'm your host, Orvin Kimbrough. Today, we'll look at the importance of self-awareness, the danger of drifting, and how to build the right support systems, not just once, but over and over again. Leadership isn't about doing everything. It's about knowing yourself. Let me take you back a few years. I was sitting with my executive team and they gave me some feedback that landed like a punch, but I believe it was a punch wrapped in love. One of them said, "You've got so many ideas. You move so fast. Sometimes we're still catching our breath while you are already planning the next sprint." That wasn't a dig. It was a mirror. And you know what? They were right. I have a bias for action. I have a drive to build. I have a deep well of vision. But sometimes that momentum, well, it can blur communication. It can leave people behind. People trying to keep up with a pace I haven't even realized I've set. And that moment reminded me of something that Paul said in Romans. Do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment in accordance with the faith God has distributed to each of you. For just as each of us has a body with many members, we have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us. That scripture, it keeps me grounded. It reminds me that we are all wired differently. And leadership, real leadership, it starts with sober judgment, with knowing yourself, with owning your wiring, with owning your weaknesses, with owning your lane. Because here's the truth. Your gift unchecked can become a liability. Your gift unchecked can become a liability. But your weakness, when supported, it doesn't have to be a limitation. Folks, the real limitation is a lack of awareness. We often say lean into your strengths, and I believe that wholeheartedly, but let's not forget this. A weakness isn't a problem. It is the real problem is the absence of self-awareness and the failure to build the right systems and people around us. Because in a world full of noise, a world full of fire drills, a world full of nonstop expectations, clarity, folks, clarity is not a luxury. It's the difference between thriving in leadership and burning out slowly while nobody notices. So, what makes you come alive? Let me be honest with you. I'm wired to chase what's possible. It's a habit born out of childhood. I want to chase what's possible. I come alive in new relationships. I come alive in fresh ideas. I come alive in quasi-blank canvases. That's where I do my best work, when I'm focused on what only I can do. Did you catch that? So I've learned to protect that space But that also means I have to be honest, I mean, brutally honest about what drains me. You ready? It should be no surprise. Maintenance sometimes drains me. Repetition sometimes drains me. Lack of purpose, it definitely drains me. If I'm not careful, I'll stretch too far, I'll move too fast, and I'll leave the important behind in favor of the exciting. Anybody else in that same ballpark? That's why I've been intentional. I've built systems and, more importantly, relationships around me. People who see what I might miss, people who manage what I might neglect, people who hold me steady when I'm ready to sprint ahead. You know, um, I think deeply about my team. I study my executive leaders. I study them with care. Where are they brilliant? Where are they blind? And how do we cover each other's gaps? How do we rally around each other? But I don't stop there. Every year, I invite them to assess me directly, no filters. And I have to sit there and just listen. I ask, where do you see weaknesses in my leadership? I ask, where are my blind spots? Where might I be limiting my own growth? Because folks, I want to grow. I don't want I don't just want feedback. I expect it. Because if I'm serious about becoming a next level leader, then I have to invite into my life next level perspective. Did you catch that? So let me ask you, are you clear? Are you clear about who you are? Are you clear about what only you can do? Are you clear about how to protect your energy for what matters most? Because when we as leaders get clear, guess what happens? Teams flourish. Teams actually flourish when we get clear. Trust deepens, energy returns, vision, catch this, vision becomes execution, not just intention. So if you are leading hard but feeling stretched thin, I want to offer two questions. Two questions that could realign your leadership if you'll answer them honestly. What's your greatest weakness as a leader? Can you name it? And have you built the right system or relationship around it so it doesn't shrink your leadership impact? Number two, what are the 3 or 4 tasks that are absolutely essential for you to perform at your best? It's not 1,000 tasks. It's 3 or 4 things that only you can do to drive enterprise value, to multiply. Are you giving these 3 or 4 tasks the consistent time, the consistent energy, and the focus they deserve? Or are they being drowned out by noise? Are they being drowned out by distractions or someone else's priorities? Let's get real. Most most leaders, most leaders don't fail because they are lazy. They fail because they are unclear. So maybe this season, this moment right now isn't necessarily about doing more. Maybe it's about doing less. Maybe it's about doing it with clarity, courage, and conviction. Maybe it's time to realign with what God uniquely gifted you to do. So here's your simple challenge this week. Write down your 3 essential tasks, the things that only you can do to thrive in your role. Block time for them. Then ask someone you trust, where am I drifting? What do I need to see that I am not seeing? Because you don't have to do it all. You just have to do what only you can do and protect it like your leadership depends on it. Because, folks, it does. And someone out there is waiting. They are waiting on the fruit of your obedience to the gift that God has placed in you. Folks, that's it for today's episode of The Next Move. Do me a favor, if this message resonated with you, if it helped you, share it with a teammate, share it with somebody in your network, put your point of view on it. And if you haven't already hit subscribe, do so you never miss an episode. Until next time, keep moving forward with clarity, courage, and purpose. I'm Orvin Kimbrough, and this has been The Next Move. Thank you for tuning in to The Next Move. I hope today's reflection inspired you to take the next step in your leadership, career, or faith journey. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need a little encouragement this week. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you'd like more reflections or resources, visit orvinkimbrough.com or theaccidentalbanker.com. Until next time, remember, every step you take brings you closer to thriving. Let's keep moving forward together.